What's up, guys? Happy Friday, April 26th. We are going to go over some MLB games, try to put you guys on some winners. Yesterday, my final plays got posted on X. So those went 4-0, or I believe it was. Nice little parlay to hit. But yesterday is not important. We are moving on to today. We are focusing on what's going forward. The past is the past, right? So drop your MLB picks in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. If you want to see more sports content, more videos, home run props, anything, don't forget to like and subscribe and share this with your friends, whatever. I want to, help build a community of people that want to make money betting on sports. So let's get right into it. I don't want to waste your guys' time. I want to get this video to you guys as quick as possible. So let's start out. First game, we're going to. All right, first game we're going to look at is the Baltimore Orioles hosting the Oakland Athletics. Look, I was going to go to the Royals-Tigers game first, just since it is the first game of the day. I just couldn't get to one side or another. I kind of lean the Tigers on that first game, but their bullpen is way better. But let's look at this one, the Orioles-Athletics. You get Ross Stripling here, the righty going against Corbin Burns. I do think this is a pretty lopsided pitching matchup. The A's are hitting about 200 average versus righties this season, but over their last 5 games, that drops to about 170. The Orioles are hitting better, 250 average this season versus righties. Over the last 5 games, it does drop a little bit, but it's nothing too concerning. Gunnar Henderson has been on absolute fire for this team. The Orioles are having a day off. The A's did just beat the Yankees. Kind of like I did like the A's in that last game, but in this one, I don't really like Ross Stripling. His last outing, 4 strikeouts in 5 2/3 innings, 3 earned runs, 1 home run. He's given up home runs in 3 straight starts to a Orioles team that can hit home runs. Gunnar Henderson has been on absolute fire. When you look at the last 10 games, the Orioles have, between these two teams, the Orioles have won 8 of the last 10, 7-3 to the over. But when the Orioles win, they usually win by 3 or more runs. So I just got to take the Orioles run line here. I don't think it's a good spot for the A's. The A's do have a great bullpen, but with the Orioles on rest, with Corbin Burns, I think the Orioles get a pretty comfortable win. We're seeing a pretty low total in this one, and I think it is because the A's will struggle to score in this one. I would be surprised if the A's scored more than 1 or 2 runs. Like I could see a solo home run maybe, but they also lost Zach Geloff to injury now, so they're now down another guy. So that kind of hurts them as well, and as far as their offense goes, and a part of their defense. So give me the Orioles on the run line. I know it's a bad bet because you're laying odds and stuff, but I can't get to the Athletics in this one, unfortunately, at that big plus price as much as I would like to. I think the Orioles get a nice, comfortable win in this one. All right, next game we're going to look at, we're going to Rogers Center, where the Blue Jays host the LA Dodgers. The Blue Jays just had a tough series versus the Royals. They had that rain delay, then they played that game, and it wasn't good for the Blue Jays. They only scored like 5 runs over the last 3 games, so they've been struggling offensively. I don't know if that game went the full. I don't know. I didn't even look back, but both these teams are 5-5 as far as wins in the last 10 games. The Dodgers have won 7 of the last 10 meetings. We were seeing actually quite of a bit of an under trend towards these teams, or 3-5-2 to the under over the last 10 games. You get Gavin Stone here versus Chris Bassett. I do think it's a little bit of a lopsided pitching matchup. I think Bassett is a little bit better pitcher, but he still hasn't been, a super stellar. I mean, he's, he can usually get you through 5 innings. His strikeout numbers aren't bad. Little bit under 1 strikeout per inning. He can give up, a solo home run or the odd home run here and there and stuff. He's kind of struggled a little bit, I'd say, this season, but he's had an all right go at it as well. My concern is the Blue Jays just played that series in Kansas City, had a big rain delay, then they got to travel home. They don't have a day off. The Dodgers had a early day game in Washington, then they just got to fly to Toronto, and I don't know. I don't think it's the greatest for the Blue Jays. The Dodgers are also mashing right-handed pitching. So overall in this season, the Dodgers are hitting about 265, 270 versus righties. But you look at their last 5 games and it goes to 315 average over the last 5. Blue Jays are hitting 200, 205. Basically the same numbers that they're hitting at the season, they're hitting over the last it's a little bit worse over the last 5 games actually. So in this one, I do trust the Dodgers a little bit more. The Jays bullpen has not been the greatest. The Dodgers bullpen's kind of middle too, so I could see some runs in this one. The Dodgers have a 4.04 ERA with a 1.13 WHIP and have given up 15 home runs as far as their bullpen goes. Blue Jays have a 4.85 ERA, a 1.33 WHIP, and have given up 16 home runs in their bullpen. So both these bullpens can give it up. What we've seen this year. But when it comes to right-handed pitching for the Dodgers, you got guys like Mookie Betts crushing right-handed pitching, Freddie Freeman, Max Muncy, Miguel Rojas, Shohei Ohtani's absolutely raking. So lots of dangerous. Teoscar Hernandez is good. All these guys have multiple home runs. Like this is a stacked lineup. So they could very well get to Chris Bassett early. As far as the Blue Jays versus righties, there's not like a lot that sticks out. IKF isn't bad. Davis Schneider, George Springer's all right, and then Dalton Varsho has been the offense mostly of this Blue Jays team lately. So I do got to go with the Dodgers in this one. I kind of lean to the over. I just don't know if the Blue Jays can contribute enough, but if they get to Gavin Stone, I could see the over being in play. But I just got to take the Dodgers as slight money line favorites. I don't love it just because Gavin Stone is not my favorite pitcher. But I just think this is a tough spot for the Jays. I wanted to get there with Chris Bassett. I could see him being solid. I just don't know if the Blue Jays give him the run support to get the win. I could see the Dodgers opening it up. A lot of these guys can get on base. So I just got to go with the Dodgers at a slight price. This one is a tough one for me. I'm not going to lie, but I just think the Dodgers are in a little bit better place. So give me the Dodgers on the money line. All right, next up we go to Fenway where the Red Sox host the Cubs, and two of the hottest pitchers probably to start baseball. Both have ERAs below 1. This should be a pretty good pitchers duel in my opinion to start. The Cubs just lost Cody Bellinger, and then that young kid Pete Crow Armstrong, who had never hit him, had major league at bat, came in first at bat. He had a home run yesterday to take the go ahead lead. Big electric win, helped us win some money yesterday. So right on for the Cubs there. So I think I just got to stick with the Cubs here in this one. When you look at these guys, I mean, the Red Sox are hitting better versus lefties lately. The Cubs can hit righties good. I think with Shota Umanga, this gives them a pretty good chance. They're 4-0 in his start so far. The Red Sox are only 3-7 at home. So, and they're potentially without Tyler O'Neill again. I would love to see the lineups in this one to see who everybody's going with. The Red Sox, they just lose 2 of 3 to the Guardians. Now they come back home to face a really hot Cubs team. And at a pick'em price, I think I just got to go with the better, hotter team right now. I do want to see. I always wait to see lineups before I lock in plays officially, because if certain guys are out, that does make a big difference for me. But at this time of recording, I'm going with the Cubs money line. Always, you can follow me on X to see what I post. If I post a parlay or plays I like, then I'm obviously on them. But at this moment, I got to go with the better, hotter team. The Red Sox are just dealing with injuries. As far as bullpens go on these sides, the Cubs are a couple of guys in this Cubs bullpen are kind of concerning. The Red Sox have a pretty solid bullpen, but they're both pretty similar as far as ERA and home runs given up are the same. The WHIP's pretty much the same. So they're all both, 1.3 WHIP, 3.4-ish ERA, 11 home runs given up. So these bullpens are pretty similar. There's a couple guys on each side that I don't love, but I think it's pretty similar. So I just got to roll with the hotter team at the moment until I see lineups. Otherwise, I'm going Cubs. All right, next up, we're going to look at Citi Field where the Mets host the Cardinals. In this one, I got to look at the home team. Give me the Mets money line. The Jose Butto, they're 3-0 in his starts. Miles Mikolas on the other side. So far, they're 1-4. He's 1-4 as far as wins. But my concern is he gives up the long ball. He can give up hard contact. He gave up 3 home runs in 4 2/3 inning on his last start against the Brewers. He did have 5 strikeouts there, but giving up the home runs is the concern here. When you look at these teams head-to-head, they're pretty evenly matched versus righties, but when you look at their most recent games, The Mets are hitting righties about 247 average. Cardinals are hitting righties around 200. So, and I like a lot of these guys on this Mets team. Pete Alonso, 4 home runs, batting 289. Francisco Lindor has 3 home runs. His average isn't the greatest, but it's because he started the season so bad. Jeff McNeil can get on base. He doesn't strike out a lot. Harrison Bader's is kind of the same, but he strikes out more. But he has a good average. He still has home runs. Starling Marte is starting to get going. 3 home runs, batting 253. DJ Stewart can hit the long ball. 3 home runs, batting 205. Tyrone Taylor can also hit. He's batting 429 or 423 with 2 home runs. All these guys got good numbers. And then you got the Cardinals, who will be seeing Jose Butto for the first time. So I think they'll struggle a little bit to get through the lineup to start it. So I got to go with the Mets here on the money line. Mets had a day off. They're coming off a win against San Francisco. Nice outing. Where the Cardinals were kind of so-so in that D-back series. Got outscored, I think 18-11. So a little bit of a run differential there, but I just like this Mets team in this situation more. I think they can get to Michaelis. The Cardinals bullpen is solid. We've seen that in the Diamondbacks series. They're actually a really solid bullpen. So I'm hoping they get to the Mets, or they get to the Mets get to Michaelis early so they can close this one out. Give me the Mets. Little glitch there. So now we're going to the Braves game here. This is a kind of a tough one. You get Logan Allen, the lefty, going against Chris Sale. So battle of the lefties on the mound. Chris Sale in his last start, 7 strikeouts in 7 innings. He gave up a home run, 3 earned runs. His start before that, he went 7 innings as well. Had 7 strikeouts again. He gave up a home run, 5 earned runs in that one. Sorry. And then Cleveland, you got Logan Allen going. He gave up 3 earned runs, 2 home runs. He's given up 2 home runs in back-to-back starts. The Guardians did give him run support there. So even though he gave up those home runs, they didn't end up costing him the game, but he got lucky to have run support. This one, you come in, they're on no rest. The Guardians are on no rest. So I lean to the Braves in the money line, but I mean, they're big favorites. So maybe a parlay piece. But I could see both teams to score 3 runs here. That should be like even money, -110, whatever. I think both these teams could score 3 runs in this game, and then you don't have to worry about a winner. You don't have to lay heavy juice. When you look at these teams head to head, they're 5-5 head to head, 6-4 to the over. We've seen like 3 run. We've seen a couple games where there's it's one-sided, but I could potentially see Chris Sale giving up a few runs as well in this one. Both these teams can hit left-handed pitching, so I'm not really worried there. I think both teams can score 3 runs. I do lean to the Braves on the money line, though. All right, next game we're going to look at is the Rangers hosting the Reds. Graham Ashcraft going against Nathan Eovaldi, the battle of 2 righties. Eovaldi's last start, 6 strikeouts in 5 1/3 innings, gave up 3 earned runs in that 5-2 loss to the Braves. His previous start was an 8-5 loss to the Astros. He only had 3 strikeouts. He gave up 2 home runs in that one. And then you got Graham Ashcraft. He's been so-so, 4 strikeouts in his last outing, 5 innings, 5 earned runs, not the greatest, 1 home run. He did get the win versus the Angels in that one. That's helped with run support. The Reds have been all right versus righties, but recently not stellar. Some of their guys are struggling recently. That was that Phillies series, though. They did get shut out in 2 out of those 4 games. But I mean, the pitching was the big deal there. The Wheeler and Nola both, they just couldn't get anything going. The Rangers have kind of struggled lately too. They struck out quite a bit yesterday. They're 5-5 in their last 10. So is Cincinnati. When you look at these teams head to head, they met about exactly a year ago for a 3-game series. That was in Cincinnati. Cincinnati won all 3 of those games. That was April 24th of last year. So exactly a year ago, basically, that series happened. These teams meet, they don't usually even meet once every couple years usually. But I think this one, I don't really trust the Rangers bullpen. I think we could see some runs, possibly an Elly De La Cruz home run. He mashes right-handed pitching. He's got 6 home runs, a 1.231 OPS, batting .346 versus right-handed pitching. Spencer Steer's got good numbers as well. Encarnacion Strand's got decent numbers. Then you look at the Rangers on the other side. Jonah Heim's been pretty decent, 297 average with 2 home runs and 12 RBIs. Adolis Garcia, 6 home runs, 17 RBIs, batting 284. Wyatt Langford batting 274. He just got his first stolen base. I think it was yesterday or the day before. Nathaniel Lowe, 357 average with 1 home run. So I could see a few good ones here. When Graham Ashcraft starts, the over is 4-0. When Eovaldi starts, I think it's 1-4. So this, as far as the Rangers are 4-9 to the under at home, the Reds are 5-4 to the over on the road, 2-0 to the over when this line is where it is. So I do kind of lean to the over in this one. Just I think the offenses can get going. Texas kind of got out-dueled yesterday. They lost that game, ended up losing 4-3, but I got to take the Reds. I like the plus price with the Reds. This is going to be a good series, I think. I lean to the over at 8.5. I want to see these lineups, but I expect, as long as the Rangers don't sit anybody important, I expect this to be a pretty good game. So I'm hoping for like a battle, but Reds win 6-5 or something like that. That'd be nice because it would cash both of those. But I think both these teams. Let's see, I think both these teams could score 3 runs, or both these teams to score multiple runs. Sorry, I wasn't prepared for this. I was just thinking about it at this time. Both teams to score 3 runs is -120. So I could see both teams scoring 3 runs here. Then you don't have to get over the total. You just need 3 runs from each side, which is very doable from both these teams, as long as the Reds don't get shut out, which I don't really expect them to get shut out from Eovaldi. So both teams to score 3 runs in this one as well, I think is very live. I like these offenses. I mean, as long as they don't strike out a million times, we could see some runs, some stolen bases. I think it's gonna be competitive. It's gonna be good. I think this will be a good series. So give me that. Both teams to score. Like I said, I lean to the Reds and the over the full game. I just don't like this Rangers bullpen, but I think both teams to score 3 runs could be the more solid play after looking at that. All right, next game up, Brewers, Yankees. I'm going to be quick on this one. I lean to the Yankees, and it's kind of slightly just due to the pitching mismatch. Colin Rea is my least favorite in this Brewers rotation. Both these teams have great records this season. The Yankees are 17-9, the Brewers are 16-8. Both just split the series 2-2. They both won 2 out of 4 games, and 2 versus Pittsburgh for the Brewers, 2 versus the A's. The Yankees offense kind of struggled. They only scored 12 runs, where the Brewers have been putting up runs. But so far this season, the Brewers have been a home underdog twice, and they've lost both times. The Yankees on the road as a favorite, 3-1. In the favorite role as in general, 11-6, and on the road 9-4. In this meeting head to head, the Brewers have kind of owned this meeting, but as a slight favorite, I just don't really love Colin Rea. I got to go with Luis Gil here. He was absolutely stellar in his last start. 9 strikeouts and 5 2/3 innings. No home runs given up at all this season. Colin Rea on the other side, his strikeout numbers are usually not the greatest. He can potentially give up home runs. These two teams, as far as hitting righties recently, the Yankees are nothing crazy, but so are the Brewers. They're both hitting around 200, 220. So I just got to lean with the Yankees right now. This is not my favorite game at this point because, I do like the price with the Brewers. I just don't like Colin Rea. I could see this one. I don't know. I could potentially see a run in the first inning in this one, but it's a tough one for me, honestly. At this point, as much as I hate it, I got to lean to the Yankees. I don't really spend a lot of time on it because it's not my favorite game. It's just because it's really hard for me to get to one way or another. But I got to lean to the Yankees at this very moment. All right, next game up is Anaheim, and we're going to Anaheim where the Angels host the Twins. This game, we see the wind blowing out 20 miles an hour out to right field. The Twins sending Bailey over to the mound, the righty, whereas the Angels are sending the lefty Patrick Sandoval. Sandoval, 6 strikeouts and 4 innings his last outing with 1 home run given up. He got the loss in that one in a 7-5 loss to the Reds. Bailey Ober's last start, a 4-3 Minnesota win, 6 strikeouts and 6 innings, 1 walk, 1 earned run. He's been solid. I do lean to the Twins in this one. They are on no rest, but the Angels are just, they can mash righties. Taylor Ward, Mike Trout, Miguel Sano's starting to get going. I lean to the Twins as much as I hate it. I would love to take the Angels. They're just not a big enough. They're still like minus 105. So I could see the Angels hitting some home runs. My concern is the bullpens in this one. The Twins have the much better bullpen, even though they're not rested. Their bullpen is much better. So far, the Angels are 2-6 as a home underdog. The Twins are 4-1 as road favorites. So I lean to the Twins, although I don't like it. I could see both teams scoring 3 runs in this game again. So the both teams to score 3 runs could be live here. If they get to Bailey Ober, he's given up a pretty hard hit rate. His barrel rate's 14.8%, whereas Patrick Sandoval's 4.7% barrel rate. I think maybe Edward Julien could tag either Sandoval or this Angels bullpen for a home run at plus 850. The guy's he's got 2 home runs in his last 5 games. He hit a home run yesterday. I mean, he can hit for power. So at plus 850. I mean, something seems wrong there. Like, are they going to pinch hit him? Like, is he sitting? I got to see the lineup before I put that in, obviously. But I could see Mike Trout hitting a home run right now. I'm seeing plus 225 for Mike Trout. Miguel Sano plus 235. So not the greatest numbers. Taylor Ward is plus 425. So all those guys. I mean, the wind's blowing out like crazy. So I don't know. I need to see these lineups for sure. I need to see who's in for the Twins. But at this very moment, I have to lean to the Twins. I don't love it. I would rather see both teams score 3 runs and be done with this. It's just whether or not the Angels get to Bailey Ober and this bullpen or not. So I think Edward Julien and Mike Trout could both hit home runs. Taylor Ward could probably hit a home run too. So there could be lots of home runs in this game. It could get out of hand for sure. If that weather boost helps the ball carry and these guys give up sharp contact, especially Bailey Ober like he can, this Angels team could unload for sure. It'll be interesting to see what happens as the day goes on. And you look at these teams head to head. The Angels have won 6 of the last 10 meetings. They're 5-5 to the over. My only concern is just the Angels bullpen getting the win. So I would rather take both teams to score 3 runs if that loses than take the Angels and have them lose. You know, like, I don't know. I could just then you kind of take the side out of it. I know I'm rambling. I'm sorry. I haven't made up my mind 100%, but as right at this moment, I lean to. All right, in the final game we're going to look at before I get you guys out of here is the Padres hosting the Phillies. Joe Musgrove, Aaron Nola going. The Padres yesterday had a 5-run lead going into the 9th inning and then just blew up, or 8th inning, and then just blew up. Thankfully, I was cashed out of that game before then, but they ended up getting walked off and losing that game 10-9. Now they got to come back to San Diego, readjust after being in Colorado Rockies, different air elevation, playing the game yesterday, coming home. The Phillies, a little bit different situation. Their last game was yesterday in Cincinnati, and then, they just got to travel to San Diego. They don't have to deal with any of the air differential or anything, but enough of that. Phillies have won 8 of the last 10 meetings, 7-3 to the over. You get Aaron Nola, who's been solid this season. I mean, he's given up home runs, but they've been home runs that haven't really amounted to anything. A lot of them are just solo home runs, which he can do, but he can rack up a lot of strikeouts. He's limited earned runs, 2 earned runs or fewer in all of his starts this season. He did give up 2 solo home runs to the Cardinals in one of those games, but he's gotten the win in 3 of his 4 starts, or 4 of his 5 starts this season. His ERA is pretty low. Joe Musgrove, on the other hand, not my favorite option really lately. He's not in true Joe Musgrove form. He has also given up home runs in multiple starts. He gave up 2 home runs in his last start. Only had 3 strikeouts in 7 innings. Luckily, the Padres backed him up with some run support versus the Jays in that one. His 3 earned runs ended up being only 3 runs that the Jays scored there. But in this one, I got to go with the Phillies, man. The Phillies bullpen is bad. They're one of the worst. It's one of the worst bullpens. 5.85 ERA, but they have only given up 8 home runs. They're 1.55 WHIP. So their bullpen does kind of concern me a little bit. Not being rested and stuff like that. So you could take the bullpen out of this if you want and play the Phillies in the first 5 on the money line. That way you do have push potential. So if you take the Phillies first 5 and it's tie game after 5 innings, then you just get your bet back. If the Phillies are leading after the first 5 innings and you win, then you don't have to worry about a late bullpen collapse. I do still think the Phillies win this game, though. So I got to go with the Phillies. I don't blame you if you wanted to take them in just the first 5 and hope that Nola and the Phillies, Nola duels, the Phillies get a couple runs off Musgrove and take a 1-run or 2-run lead into the 6th inning. Then that way you cash that and you don't have to worry about a bullpen collapse. But either way, I'm going Phillies here. All right, that's all I got for you guys. Didn't go over every single game, but went over the ones that I had some decent information on. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Drop your MLB picks in the comments below. It's cash them tickets today, y'all. I will try to build up a parlay as the days go on, and the lineups are confirmed. We'll post that on X. If you're not following me on X, make sure to do so because I do post my parlays most of the time on there. If you have any questions, concerns, whatever, drop them in the comments or message me, whatever, on X. Let's cash some tickets, y'all. Thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.